Welcome back to Drury University, the O'Reilly Family Event Center. This is a boys 18 and under pool game in the Pool D between the Springfield Rush and Tyler Heat. Both of these teams won their games earlier in the day, so the winner of these games, this game, is the winner of Pool D. This is the 1 and 2 seed. My name is Paul Gilmore, joined alongside by Jeremy Caldwell, bringing you the action here of this game between Springfield, who's in the white uniforms with the blue trim, and Tyler Heat, who's in the black uniforms with the orange. And just like earlier in the day, that's Joe Graves who starts the scoring early for the Rush.
Yeah, he's had a dominating game the first game they played. So let's see if he can do the same against Elijah Grimes.
So both of these teams defeated the Cincinnati Trailblazers to get to this point. And the winner becomes the 1 seed of this bracket.
The loser will be the 2 seed. And we'll speak more on this as it goes on because of the outcome of the game before this.
Yeah, if you were joining us from that particular game that just finished, a little bit of a confusing finish between the PT Warriors, who defeated HHBA Lightning. And the ramifications of that affect this game as well, because with HHBA losing, they become the 3 seed that now has to play the loser of this game. Heat coming the other way. On the breakaway, the layup is up and good for John Hall. Both of these teams love to apply pressure. They both have very active hands and move quickly on the defense, and then they like to quickly push it the other way. So very similar play styles between Rush and Heat.
Yeah, both play kind of fast, up-tempo style basketball. Both have really quick guards. So it's interesting to see how this matchup is going to go here in this game.
This is another matchup I'm interested to see as well, as we have Joe Graves connect on his 2nd straight basket, and that matchup is against Elijah Grimes, the senior. That time the foul was called on somebody else. I didn't quite see who that was. It might have been on Walker Hartman. The ref put up a 3 or a 4. I didn't quite see who it was.
I'm not sure. I wasn't looking as well.
And I guess there's not a number 4 right now in there for Heat, so
we'll go with number 3.
Either that or Grimes. He could have put up a 1 and a 4. I'm not sure. Anyways, either way, that shot from Tyler Heat, no good. But we're going to have a foul going the other way. They're going to call that foul against John Hall for a push in the back. And that's 2 quick fouls for Heat. Quickly the other way, Jace Allen. And like we mentioned, these teams can put up points in a hurry, and Rush are showing why they are one of the top seeds in this tournament. That foul is going to be against Garrett Rudy, his first.
Both of these played Cincy Trailblazers earlier today.
Inside to Grimes, and that's good and 1. So he returns the favor as he scores the basket, and the foul is going to be called on Joe Graves. So they've each now had an and 1 opportunity against each other. Both of them look like they've got a good shooting touch. And we've got ourselves a 7-5 ball game. Full court press being applied by Heat.
Looks like Rush is coming out being a little bit patient, working the ball around.
That's such good ball movement. Another elevator screen door play that leads to a Ryan Ray 3-pointer. And I don't know if Rush has missed yet.
I don't believe they have. They're up 10-5.
Tomlin, the All-American, in the corner. That 3-pointer is too strong. On the outlet to Ryan Ray. He finds a cutting Garrett Rudy, and that's going to be a blocking foul called on Tomlin.
Jackson's first foul there. Rush does a really good job of rebounding, and as they're rebounding, one of their guards are sprinting out, and they try to get the ball quick and throw it over the top.
First shot is good by Rudy. So as a coach, if you're looking to counter something like that, do you just have someone getting back every time the shot is up, or what do you do to counter that?
Yeah, you got to have whoever's your top man on the offensive side. When the shot goes up, he cannot be the one rebounding. He's got to get back and not let anybody behind him defensively. He may not necessarily have to run back, but he just can't let somebody get further back than he is.
Tomlin on the drive. Looks inside for Grimes. Nice feed.
It's a good drive and dish by Jackson there to get Grimes the easy layup. 11-7. Springfield Rush. They're the winner of the Heartland Regional. And it's going to be the second foul on Grimes. Or first foul, I'm sorry.
Well, if indeed
what you think of?
If indeed that first foul was on Grimes, that's 2 for him. I guess the substitution might let us know if we were correct in that prediction. But as you were saying, they did win the Heartland Regional, which made them a top seed here. Both of these teams, as you mentioned, they played Cincy Trailblazers earlier in the day. Springfield defeated Cincy Trailblazers 82-31. And Tyler Heat defeated them 74-47.
Right. Yeah, both teams proved that they can score the basketball for sure. Defensively, though, and so as he banks in the free throw there, I don't know if I heard him call glass on that.
Both big men so far, the focal points of their offense. That's Graves with 6, and Grimes has 5. I want to thank you if you're joining us from Tyler, Texas, Springfield here in Missouri, or anywhere else. Offensive rebound on the long bounce off the rim comes back to Tyler.
Tyler hasn't been able to get a 3 to go yet in this game.
That shot attempt is up, in and out. Rebound comes to Graves. Quickly back the other way is Springfield.
The hometown team here at Nationals.
Good look on a backdoor cut, but Eli Anderson had other ideas. That three-pointer up and good for Jackson Tomlin as he gets on the board.
That was a big 3 there that cuts it down to 2, down 12-10.
Nice find over to Jace Allen. Too strong. Rebound comes to Grimes. And now Tyler has a chance to tie or take the lead. Three-pointer attempt.
Travel.
Before then, it was a traveling violation.
Yeah, the refs have been really consistent on that, shuffling the feet today. And, they've called that multiple times in the last 3 or 4 games today. So you got to be cognizant on your feet and your footwork. But a lot of these players I've noticed when they call that is they catch the ball and then they take their 2 steps to try to get into their shot. And I don't think that's allowed.
So checking in for Springfield Rush is Landon Odell. Graves creating some space, giving a little bump to Grimes before he lays it in. 8 first quarter points for Joe Graves.
So Springfield Rush here, stay in a zone. They like to keep Graves anchor in that middle defensively.
Corner three-pointer on the way, and that's good. Nothing but net for Walker Hartman.
Another drive and kick by Jackson Tomlin there.
And that's how you get teams out of the zone. Wow, what an and one for Graves.
That's going to be at least number 2 for Elijah Grimes. And Graves is living under the basket. as he has 10 points.
And he's missed a couple free throws already, too.
Yes.
Double digits in the first quarter. He has been all over the place for Springfield Rush. That ball is tipped and stolen away by Rudy. Now he's weaving through the defense. Tried to get it to Graves, but he couldn't. Grimes coming quickly the other way. The ball's poked away, but that's not before a foul is going to be called on Garrett Rudy, his second.
And Grimes is going to come out of the game. Coach Talman is so that is Elijah's second foul. He just confirmed with the table there. So we assume we have the other one correct, but we know that it's 2 on Elijah, but he's going to sit for a little bit. It's a 3-point game right now.
Aiden Shelton checked in for Tyler. 3-point attempt in the corner, no good. Offensive rebound, and that's going to be tipped and nearly stolen away. Excellent hustle by Garrett Rudy. And Jeremy, you mentioned the way that Tyler Heat is going to try to get around the zone is one of the best options is that corner three-pointer.
Right.
If Tyler Heat's able to consistently knock that down, you have to imagine Springfield might make a change.
Yeah, you're going to have to shoot him out of it, and as of right now, there's no reason for Springfield to pull out of it because it's worked so far. And Tyler has missed a few of those open threes in the corner. So until they start hitting those, if I'm the coach of the Rush, I'm not going to pull out of that zone defense.
And that's Kedron Penny who's checked in for Heat. Cross-court pass is tipped by Odell and stolen. Quickly coming the other way, Springfield.
16-13, 3-point ball game. Both these teams here.
That's an excellent feed to the inside. Tyler's looking for an offensive foul, but refs let him play, and 12 points now for Graves. He's almost matched Tyler by himself.
Yeah, Graves has had a really good first quarter.
Three-pointer on the way, too strong. Rebound is ripped down by Graves. Under a minute to play. As a matter of fact, 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. This game has been so fast and furious, it feels like we just started. But here we are at the end of the first quarter. Springfield looking for the final shot. They have a 5-point lead. And we're going to have a timeout. 30-second timeout with 8 seconds left in the quarter. I think the coach
3 seconds.
He's got to just be looking for a good final shot.
Right. You want to go into the second quarter with a little bit momentum. It's kind of on their side, but, you're up 5. You want to put as much distance you can between you and Tyler Heat because they do have shooters, and, he's probably watched them play earlier today that he knows they can get hot. So any advantage he has and the lead, if he can advance it, is to his benefit.
So just out of curiosity, when you have obviously a certain amount of timeouts each half, is that a spot where you would have taken a timeout or just play out the quarter?
I wouldn't have taken a timeout there because knowing that this is going to be a competitive game, you may end up needing those late in the second half and the fourth quarter for different scenario reasons. So we had possession of the basketball, and we wasn't being trapped. So I wouldn't have taken that. He had a different philosophy.
They ran the same play in the last game, and this time did not have the same result as that ball was tipped and stolen away. And that's going to do it after 8 minutes of play. Here in Drury, we have the Springfield Rush 18 and the Tyler Heat 13. Second quarter action and more to come after this brief intermission. Back at the O'Reilly Family Event Center here in Drury University. Second quarter is beginning in this boys 18 and under Pool D game between the number 1 seeded Springfield Rush and the number 2 seeded Tyler Heat. Winner advances to the 1 seed, and the loser becomes the 2 seed that will then face the 3 seed from another pool tomorrow morning in the play-in game. So thankfully this is one of those pools where whoever wins is the winner. We don't have to determine tiebreakers.
Yeah, and Northside just won on the other court against HSAA, and that was a game where both teams were 1-0. So Northside will win that pool. HSAA will finish second and have a play-in game in the morning.
On the inbounds, Tomlin, nice offensive rebound and putback
John Hall.
by John Hall. That's his second basket. Cuts the deficit to 3. These Tyler Heat guards play such hard-nosed defense every game. And that time the ball's into Graves. Picks up where he left off in the first quarter. He's got 14 in the game.
Yeah, what they're doing is Tyler Heat is fronting him, and they're throwing it over to the top, and the weak side help is not getting there in time.
That corner 3 is up and good. John Hall starting strong in the second quarter.
2-point ball game, 20-18. Hall's got all 5 of the points for the Heat here in the second quarter.
It almost seems that thus far it's been Tyler Heat 3-pointers versus Joe Graves in the post.
Great
nice backdoor cut by Rudy. His first field goal, he's got 3 points in the game. Another 3-pointer, too strong. No good that time from Eli Anderson. On the drive, Rudy, and 1.
That foul is going to be on number 3, Waker Hartman. We believe that's his second.
Checking in for Springfield is number 50, Josh Graves.
And remember, Elijah Graves only has 2 fouls.
That time the offensive rebound is going to lead to an offensive foul for Joe Graves. That's his second.
Little slow going here for Tyler Heat as the defensive pressure by the Rush has affected the inside game, and their outside game is not really hitting right now. So they're gonna have to find other ways to score.
That ball was ripped away by Garrett Rudy. 3-pointer up, and that is too short. That was Ryan Ray. Ball tipped and stolen away once again by Rudy. Great job on consecutive possessions to get in on the action and knock the ball away. That time the ball's knocked away from Graves, but ends up all the way on the far side with Brady Bishop, and Springfield will reset.
Yeah, Tyler's trying to find an answer for Joe Graves right now.
And right now that answer is a double team, but it's going to lead to another foul. We'll see if that's on Tomlin.
I believe that is. Their hands got tangled up there.
And that's going to be the second foul on Jackson Tomlin. So not only is Graves putting a lot of points on the board, he's also causing some foul trouble for some of the Tyler Heat All-Americans. Good inbounds play. They get the ball back to Graves, and he's fouled again. I believe that foul is going to be called on Cohen Starr.
Yep. That's his first foul of the game. And notice the Springfield Rush have made an assertive effort to feed the ball into Graves.
That 3-point attempt is good. by Rudy. And he's got 7 quick points here in the second quarter. Stolen away.
Yeah, you can't put the ball down on the floor low in the paint like that. They got too many bodies coming at you.
Nice feed to Graves, but that's going to be tipped and stolen away. John Hall ends up with it.
(27-18). They're down 9.
Big three-pointer on the way from John Hall. He also now has 8 in this quarter, and that's going to be a 30-second timeout as Tyler Heat has cut the deficit 27-21.
Yeah, John Hall has all 8 of the points for Tyler Heat, as he's the only one that can put the ball through the basket right now, because everybody else, they're either turning the ball over or Joe Graves is affecting their shots in the paint. So he's been a defensive presence here and has made a big difference so far offensively and defensively. And the outside shooting is just not going down right now for Tyler Heat, except for John Hall there.
And you look at that last possession for both teams, it's a big difference. You're halfway through the second quarter, and you may think, well, there's still a lot of game left. But had that pass connected to Graves, had he made the shot, you're looking at 29-18.
Right.
11 points is a big difference than coming down, Heat hitting a three-pointer, feeling like they're still right in this game down 6.
Right. So currently they're only 2 possessions away.
On the run out, Graves is going to be throwing it down. Not sure how that was allowed to happen, but Joe Graves throws down a monster dunk on the breakaway. We talked about those dunks being big motivators, not only for your team, but for the crowd.
Right.
And this Springfield Rush crowd is loving it. Grimes kicks it back out to Tomlin. In the corner, that three-pointer is on the way, and that is good by Aiden Shelton.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed somebody else to score. And the Rush defense is playing havoc right now on the Tyler Heat's offense and their ball handlers.
Graves now working the handle at the top of the key. That three-pointer is on the way and good by Garrett Rudy. He has been all over the second quarter with his defense and offense. Nearly steals that one again. That three-pointer no good. Rebound comes to Odell. Rush have a chance to cut it or to add to their lead and get back into double digits. Down low to Graves. That one tips off the backboard and out of bounds. A little too much mustard on it from Rudy.
Yeah, just threw it a little too hard there. I mean, that's been their bread and butter this first half, is just throw it over the top to Graves. And he was able to corral it, but that one just got a little too high. Rush is staying in his zone.
Grimes. Shot may have been altered by Graves, but on the offensive rebound putback is John Hall. You've been hearing that name a lot here in the second quarter. He now has 10 in this period.
Yeah, he has 10 for Tyler Heat, and Garrett Rudy has 10 for the Springfield Rush. But if you're John Hall, you're going to need some help.
Graves, just such a strong move. I was going to make a comment about how far away from the basket he received that ball, and It didn't matter. He just dribbled his way in there and put it in.
Yeah, he just backed him down and used that left hand.
Guess who? John Hall keeping Tyler in this game. They're still down 6.
He's keeping them within striking distance, but they got to get a stop defensively if they want to cut into the lead.
And right now Springfield has a weapon that it doesn't seem like Tyler can match, as they just get the ball into Joe Graves, and that's their possession for that time down.
Right.
And that's going to be a holding foul against Eli Anderson. Looked like he was just grabbing Rudy's jersey.
So Rudy and Graves are going to come out right now. And if you're Tyler Heat, if you want to make a little run right here right before the half, now might be the time to do it with Graves and Rudy both out, who has been doing all the scoring for Springfield.
You have to be able to capitalize on that. And they get the defensive stop here. Tomlin the other way, thought about it. Instead drives, puts it up, and flips it in. Tomlin's been kind of quiet. That's just his 5th point of the game. But Springfield Rush wants to talk about it.
That's a quick timeout by Springfield.
Well, and you look at that situation for Springfield, like we mentioned in the earlier game, they've got 7 players total.
Right.
So if they've got Graves and Rudy on the bench, they've got to get some rest at some point. And so it's a smart move to sit them down with about 2 minutes left in the first half.
Right.
Catch that 2 minutes plus halftime.
Correct.
And then bring them back in the third quarter. But
the
trade-off is
had a 6-point lead when they did it. So, if you keep it close, because they've dominated the game in the first half. Graves kind of dominated the first quarter. Rudy kind of took over the second quarter. But you got to see which team this is going to affect the most here in the second half with legs-wise, because this is the second game for both teams. Although Tyler Heat has a few more players on their bench that they can utilize. But you got to think, if I'm Tyler Heat, I'm going to try to run and gun, because I know the legs are shorter on the Springfield Rush side, because he don't have a very deep bench, only having 2 players there.
Well, and the other trade-off of that, too, is obviously you don't want to lose any game, but the loser of this game becomes the 2 seed that's got to play a game tomorrow morning, and if they win that, they also have to play in the afternoon, evening.
Right.
So you gain an extra game by not winning this game.
Correct. So not only did you play 2 games today, if you lose this one, you're also going to have to play 2 games tomorrow, and that can wear on your legs a little bit. And we've seen HHBA cramping in the game before this, which they ended up being the 3 seed, so they will be the team to play in the loser of this game tomorrow morning.
So for those of you that were watching that Lightning game and a little bit of the confusing ending between them and PT, both teams looked like they were trying to give it up. A lot of that had to do with the Lightning, like Jeremy explained, trying to get to overtime and then realizing that they didn't have the legs for it and kind of conceding the 3 seed. Tomlin for 3, no good. 2 players in for Heat on the offensive rebound, but it's going to be a Rush player called for the foul. That's Odell, and that's his first. So a little bit confusing on the strategy behind the pool, but ultimately the game was kind of taken out of HHBA's hands in terms of their players just not really having the energy to match what they were trying to do.
Right.
They needed to win by 10, so they took it to overtime, and then once they realized they had a lot of players cramping and didn't have the legs, they decided, you know what, we'll take our chances tomorrow.
Right. They knew they had a game in the morning regardless, so they needed to save their legs. So with Graves out of the game here the last minute and a half or so, Tyler Heat has cut it to a 2-point deficit, and they did put Rudy back in the game, and that's another turnover. So if you're Tyler Heat here, you have 6 seconds where you can come in and either tie the game or go into halftime with a 1-point lead if they get a 3 off.
Now Tomlin in the corner. Step back retaken, no good. And that's going to do it for our first half of play. But Tyler comes back with a little furious run at the end. And it's a 2-point ball game heading into the second half. Springfield Rush 34, Tyler Heat 32. Second half action and one more game after this coming up.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula, real-time pain relief. Its soothing lotion is rich in nature's ingredients and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis, real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout. When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula, real-time pain relief. Its soothing lotion is rich in nature's ingredients and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis, real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout.
Welcome back to Drury University here at the O'Reilly Family Event Center. My name is Paul Gilmore alongside Jeremy Caldwell, bringing you the second half action of the Pool D game between Springfield Rush and Tyler Heat. In the first half, Springfield controlled much of the first half, but ultimately it was Tyler who made a run at the end. We start with an offensive foul, and that's going to be against Rudy down low in the post.
That's his third foul right off the bat.
And he's been pivotal for Springfield in this game. He's got 11 points, 10 of them in the second quarter. Meanwhile, Joe Graves is the big name so far, as the big man down low has 18 points in this game. Meanwhile, for Tyler Heat, John Hall had a 12-point quarter in the second, and he's got 14 for the game. Nothing going for Grimes. Coming back the other way, Springfield quickly. Bishop drives to his left, feeds it down low, and that's going to be off the very top of the backboard, but ultimately good for Joe Graves. He's now got 20.
And he has made some incredible shots. He's gotten some lucky rolls there, but as a shooter, sometimes you get those.
And now Tyler's going to be playing a full court press.
Yeah, they come out offensively with 2 straight turnovers. As they're down 4.
Pick and roll. Graves rolls to the basket, too strong. Offensive rebound controlled and put back up and in by Jace Allen.
That was his first bucket of the game. Extended it back to 6.
Three-pointer on the way, and that is good for Aiden Shelton, his second triple of the game.
Back to a 3-point deficit for Tyler. 3-point lead for Rush. Rush has scored most of their points in the paint, whether it be Graves under the basket or Rudy driving. Great backdoor cut, unable to corral the pass there by Graves. They've been kind of the two-man show for the Springfield Rush today.
And I love the versatility of Graves. He's basically, the offense is now running through him at the top of the key. He's feeding backdoor cuts. He's making himself known on the offensive end. Tomlin, a deep 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Nice pass over to Waker Hartman, but that was denied by Graves.
Yeah, Graves has played a great game so far in the paint, offensively and defensively. He's altered quite a few shots and has scored quite a few buckets.
In the corner, back out to Hartman, no good. Rebound pulled down by Bishop.
Yeah, it would have been a big 3 there for Tyler. It would have tied the game.
Looking down low for Graves. That ball's tipped, but Graves is able to get it back out to Bishop, who finds a cutting Allen for the 2.
Yeah, the loose balls are not going Tyler Heat's way right now.
And that ball is ultimately out on Anderson. We'll go back to Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield's been the more aggressive team right now. And just Tyler Heat has played just a little bit sloppy here in this game so far.
It just seems like every time Tyler Heat gets within 2-3 points, Springfield finds a way to create more separation. So we'll see if Tyler can get over the hump as Rudy is unable to finish. Now quickly down the other way, Hartman. Double pump fakes, and he puts it in. Excellent patience from Waker Hartman. Now down the other way.
Yeah, that was a good find by Jackson Tomlin to throw it over the top of the defense there.
We mentioned this would be a little bit of a track meet, and it has not disappointed. 40-37, Springfield.
Tyler Heat made a little adjustment there as they're going to start switching those screens because Springfield was running a lot of that in the first half and getting a lot of backdoor cuts. So it's still a 3-point game. 40-37, 4 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Over the top to Graves. That has been the bread and butter all game long. And they're patient enough to work it around the perimeter till they can find that look inside.
Yeah, they eventually clear out that backside, the baseline, and that gives it the open pass for the over the top.
Another corner three-pointer for Shelton, his third, second in this quarter, and it's a 2-point game.
If you're Tyler, you just got to be patient and keep running your offense.
And Tomlin's got to be careful because that's another foul on him. He now has 3. Substitution for both teams.
Yeah, Tomlin and Rudy are both playing pretty physical, as Rudy's going to come out of the game here.
And both of those young men with 3 fouls to match.
If I'm Tyler Heat, I'm not going to come that far out to guard Joe Graves, as we know they're trying to clear the paint so they can go over the top to his brother Joe. And they keep fronting Joe Graves, but they continually to throw it over the top here in this game.
Once again, they get it up top to him, but that time it's down low, lower amongst the trees where Tomlin could pick the fruit, if you will.
Right.
And he steals the ball, surveys the defense.
Jackson directing the offense. 2-point game is an important possession here for Tyler Heat.
Tomlin for 3, no good. Offensive rebound, and there's going to be a foul called on the rebound attempt.
I think it's going to be on Graves.
Yeah, it looked like for a second the refs were kind of debating about what the call was going to be. Ultimately, that foul is on Graves, his third, and they did not call it on the shot. And there's going to be a timeout from Tyler Heat, full timeout. So we'll take a quick intermission with them. 2:22 to go in the third, and it's Springfield Rush 42, Tyler Heat 40. Back at Drury University. Tyler Heat inbounding, three-pointer on the way, and they've got the lead as that three-pointer is good. Shelton hits his 4th to give Tyler Heat their first lead of the game.
That's his 3rd 3 this quarter, I believe, right?
It is. Game of adjustments. That time Odell loses it on the drive. Tomlin quickly back the other way. Speedy Tomlin puts it in. And no, that wasn't his name. I was giving him as an adjective, as he is a speedy player.
He is a very quick point guard. And as you can see, quickly off the bench, Rudy is coming, as long as Jace Allen as well.
And now they're essentially doubling Graves if not tripling him every time the Rush even looked to get the ball to him.
Yeah, so it looked like they switched.
This time it didn't matter as Graves drives all the way on Grimes, lays it in, and it's a 1-point lead for Tyler Heat as we have another 30-second timeout.
Yeah, so defensively, Tyler Heat made the switch there, and they put Grimes on Graves and let him front him because he's got a little bit more length and jumping ability. So what Rush did was they pulled Graves out to the top of the key and fed him and let him drive on Grimes, knowing Grimes has 2 fouls. He's got to play a little bit safe. But once you get to the fourth quarter, and if he can make it to the fourth quarter with only 2 fouls, he can play a little bit more aggressive for the fourth quarter.
So there's going to be a minute and 22 seconds left in the third quarter. I want to remind you that if you're sticking around for the late night cap, which was supposed to slate for 9:15, but we know how Nationals goes, so it's going to be closer to a possibly 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock start time over here. It's going to be the final game of the night, Tennessee Heat versus the San Antonio Patriots.
Right, we looking at 9:20 right now. We have a minute and 22 left here in the third quarter. So we have a whole nother quarter to go, and these two teams, it's been pretty even, so I got a feeling there's going to be a little bit of stoppage in play here in the fourth quarter as both teams are be looking to strategize against each other.
That runner is no good, too strong. Rebound ultimately ends up in the hands of Ray.
Tyler Heat has not got many second chance opportunities tonight. They Rush have done a really good job of limiting them to 1 shot per possession. And Graves have mainly been the guy dominating the boards and not allowing those second chance opportunities. But he has had some of his teammates helped out.
That time Graves spins into the paint. No good that time. Rebound pulled down by Grimes. We'll see if Tyler Heat choose to hold for the final shot. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. They hold a 1-point lead, and it looks like they will.
So you got to think Hall was the second quarter guy, and Aiden Shelton has been this third quarter guy.
And neither team was able to get an attempt off as Tomlin loses the ball on the way up. And the horn sounds as we head to the final 8 minutes to determine the winner of this pool. As it stands, Tyler Heat 45, Springfield Rush 44. Tyler Heat looking to win this pool, as are the Springfield Rush. And you couldn't ask for anything better. 1-point game heading into the fourth quarter between two teams that are 1-0. Grimes no good on that attempt. Ball's back out to Tomlin for 3. Too strong. Grimes had it again for a second before it was knocked out of his hands. Now Bishop comes the other way. Rudy looks underneath to Allen. Too short on that one. Nothing going for either team early in the fourth.
Looks like the refs are letting them play a little bit in the paint here in the start this fourth quarter.
I think as a coach, you're just looking for consistency. So as long as that continues, you're okay with it.
Right.
You just make the adjustments. Three-pointer no good that time from Shelton. That's a rare statement tonight as he's been money from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he hit 3 of them there in the third quarter. Once again, they got Elijah fronting Graves.
Well, and as your legs start to go, so does the shooting sometimes, and neither one of these teams connecting really well from 3 besides Shelton, and he's missed one already here in the fourth.
Second game of the day by both teams. We mentioned that was probably going to be a factor.
And Graves could not get the alley-oop, but does get the offensive rebound just so he can pad his stats, and gets the bucket here to open the fourth quarter and give Rush the lead.
Maybe he needed another rebound for the double-double.
Well, we mentioned this earlier too, but it's worth mentioning that the loser of this game, no matter how close it is, also has to play a morning game tomorrow as the play-in to make it to the Sweet 16.
All right, they will play at 9:05 against HHBA.
Tomlin, turnaround jumper, hits off the rim twice, no good. On the drive, that time bumped by Graves was Hartman, and that's Graves' 4th foul.
That could be huge. If Tyler Heat can find a way to get him fouled out of the game, that can turn this game pretty quick.
Still over 6 minutes to go, so you have to imagine that they're going to use that as a strategy going forward.
As Hartman knocks down the first free throw. John Hall comes out of the game. Eli Anderson in for him.
Both free throws good for Hartman. And still looking to work it inside to Graves.
Yeah, Elijah Grimes doing a good job of battling with him, fighting for position down there. Let's see what Rush does here. They're down 1 as Tyler Heat holds the 1-point advantage.
Three-pointer on the way, no good. Ball is tipped into the hands of Shelton.
They ran that elevator screen earlier in the first half and got an open 3. Wasn't able to knock that one down. And you mentioned earlier we're fixing to find out whose legs are going to be able to hold up here in this fourth quarter. As both teams, this is going to be the 8th quarter of the day for both of these guys.
And you're certainly looking for a good shot off of that elevator screen door play, but I feel like a lot of the times the offensive player is thinking they have to shoot it.
Right. And if I'm Tyler Heat right now, knowing the leg situation of Springfield Rush, what you're doing right now is you're just allowing them to rest their legs.
Shelton, no good on that three-pointer. And he was money in the third quarter and has not found the same success so far.
Four and a half to go here in the fourth quarter. This final game of this pool. Waiting to find out who the winner is going to be.
And that time, Allen took the role of where Graves normally posts up.
Yep.
Missed the first attempt, but got his own rebound and put it back in over Grimes. And it's back to a Springfield Rush lead.
Yeah, Grimes was left down there all by himself trying to guard both guys.
What an athletic play by Hartman. No good, but that ultimately is going to be a, we'll see what the refs are going to call here.
Jump ball. And Joe Graves is going to come out of the game, try to get him probably a minute and a half rest. They got a 1-point lead right now. I'd imagine they're going to come down, work some clock while he's resting his legs and try to put him in to finish the game out. Another back door
to Rudy.
Springfield, the hometown team here from Missouri, takes a 3-point lead with that.
on the drive, no good, but the foul is going to be on Josh Graves, and that's his first. That's going to send Hartman to the line.
Yeah, he has a few more fouls to give than his brother, so. I believe that's the second time this game that Eli Anderson has lost Rudy from the corner on that backdoor cut.
Checking in for the Heat is John Hall.
Which he got hot in the second quarter. And then Aiden Shelton got hot in the third, so they're kind of hoping Hall got them legs rested. He can give them something here in the fourth as Hartman knocks down that second free throw, cuts it back down to 2. 50-48. Springfield Rush with the lead. That was a close 10-second call there. They're going to try to run some clock while Graves is out of the game. You heard the coach. 5 out, pass and cut, pass and cut. Unless they get a wide open layup, I would imagine they're not going to take a shot for about a minute and a half at least. And it's a wide open shot.
That was Garrett Rudy. Grimes in the corner. That ball might have been tipped. Pulled down by Hartman in the far corner. Hall gets it back out top. And that's going to be a blocking foul called on Rudy. That's his fourth.
So Rudy and Joe Graves both with 4 fouls, and that's been the 2 catalysts for Springfield Rush. 2:30 to go here. Still plenty of time. You got to feel like, though, Tyler needs to get a bucket here. They need to keep it within 1 possession.
In the corner, a three-pointer is good by Hartman.
And that'll definitely help it.
Gives
1 point game.
Gives the defender a little look. 1 point game. And like you mentioned, Jeremy, Graves has been on the bench for the last about minute and a half.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to be coming off his seat here in a minute as John Hall commits the foul.
That's Hall's second.
That's the first foul this quarter for Tyler Heat, so they have plenty to give. And once again, here comes Graves back into the game. 2 minutes to go. That's what I figured they was doing, trying to rest him for the last 2-minute push. And 1 point ball game, 52-51. Rush has the lead. They're probably going to try to find something for either Rudy or Joe Graves. They've been the 2 leaders on the points for Springfield, but they may be content to move the ball around, run some clock, unless they get a wide open shot. Minute and 35 to go. Oh, he almost had that steal there. And that's the problem when you just run something other than your offense.
And you go to the bread and butter. That time an offensive rebound, kick back out to Ray, and that hits the front of the rim and bounces in.
Big
One
possession.
of the most unlikely ways that shot could have gone in.
Yeah, Tyler got the miss, but they couldn't get the defensive rebound.
Tomlin's going to take a deep three, and that's nothing but net. Good as soon as it left his hands, as he had that straight line shot from deep.
Back to a 1 point ball game with a minute and 2 left. This has been a great game, Paul. It hasn't really been that much of a deficit. I don't think either team has been double-digit leads. It's been kind of within 2-3 possessions the whole game, within striking distance. And you can kind of see here that the legs of Rudy and Graves for Springfield Rush looks like they're starting to play a little bit of factor here, as Graves is not finishing like he was in the first half. But lucky for them, they have 3 other players on the court to play with them and getting loose balls and knocking down shots. So you got to think here, if you're Springfield Rush, with a minute and 2, they're probably going to hold the ball and not take a shot, and they're going to force Tyler to start fouling. And if I'm Tyler Heat, knowing I got the possession error in my favor, I'm going to try to get a tie up within the first 20, 25 seconds before I start fouling. and see if I can steal a possession without putting them at the free throw line. But the problem is they have 4 fouls before you start putting them at the free throw line. So you got to think about that as well. You can't wait too long to start fouling because then you're going to run out of time.
Well, and Scott and I were talking about this on an earlier broadcast. This is an exact type of drill that we used to run in high school with a minute, and you go 5 out. Can you hold the ball for 1 minute? Backdoor cut to Graves, no good on the shot attempt.
That would have been huge.
But he will be shooting 2. We'll see who the foul was on.
That's Elijah Grimes. It's only his 3rd foul. So he got 2 fouls early in the first quarter and has played the rest of the game until he picked up his 3rd just now. So really good job there defensively, but knocks down the first one.
Big free throw for Graves, as with another one he can make it a 3-point game.
You can see Rush players over here stretching their calves out. You can tell they're starting to cramp.
Well, underneath the table here, I'm stretching my calves out. Offensive rebound by Allen, lost the handle on it on an easy layup attempt.
Leaves it a 2-point game here.
Tomlin thought about it. He's being doubled. In the corner, 3-point attempt. Hall, no good. Offensive rebound, Hartman. Tomlin up top. 3-point, no good. Rebound pulled down by Ray, and he's going to be fouled. So like you mentioned, Jeremy, there's still 3 more fouls to give for Tyler, and they better get them in a hurry in these next couple of possessions.
Only 19 seconds left.
Substitution.
Jackson's going to come out.
I'm sure it's an offensive, defensive kind of situation as he goes straight back to the scorer's table.
Yeah, that's probably a height factor here.
And Graves might have got popped in the mouth. Grimes certainly didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, that was an accident.
And that's going to be the 4th team foul. So the next one sends Rush to the free throw line.
That's Elijah's 4th foul as well.
And you have to imagine if you're the Rush, you got to let them know, hey, you've got 4. Don't be the one to foul. Meanwhile, if I'm Rush, well, I guess Grimes came off the floor.
Yeah. You got a foul if you're Tyler.
And they did end up calling the foul.
Jace Allen is going to be the one going to the free throw line. Waker Hartman. If you're Tyler here, you're hoping for 1 miss. 2 preferably, but at least 1. Keeps it at 1 possession.
Grimes comes in for the rebounding.
Oh, they said that's 5 fouls. Oh, never mind. Confusion. Knocks down the first one. This free throw right here, Paul, is huge. If he makes this, makes it a 2-possession ball game. If he misses it, Tyler Heat's got a shot.
And he misses it. Rebound comes down to Tyler Heat. 10 seconds to play. Ball in the hands of Tomlin, who takes a deep 3. Perhaps a little ill-advised from that far.
A little early.
Can understand the reasoning, though. He's got a hot hand. He's an All-American player.
Dad was not happy about that shot for sure.
And now the ball goes back to Ray, and he's got a chance to ice the game.
.1 seconds left. Rush up 3 points. He makes one of these. It's a 2-possession ball game. It's going to seem a little bit out of reach for Tyler Heat.
Yeah, he's just got to make one of these 2. And there it is. Makes the challenge that much more difficult for Tyler Heat.
Do you miss this on purpose, Paul?
No, up 4. I think 4 or 5 doesn't matter. Right. I would go ahead and make it. And good look from Tomlin, but that's going to do it. as the Springfield Rush are going to win Pool D, and Tyler Heat will play HHBA Lightning tomorrow morning at 9:05. On behalf of Jeremy Caldwell, I want to thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Make sure you join the next one, which is going to be the San Antonio Patriots versus the Tennessee Heat. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.